Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I hope you've all been good. I apologize for the lack of videos recently. I've just been absolutely just obsessed with iRacing. I feel like I've caused a bit of a conundrum for myself here because I literally can't get myself to do anything else but just go racing in iRacing. It is just some of the best fun I've ever had, and this has to be, I think, one of the best races that I've ever actually had on this platform. So we're going for a Mazda rookie race in Summit Point Raceway in West Virginia. Obviously the car we're going to be using is the global Mazda MX-5, which is a free car for anyone that is on iRacing. And this is a rookie series, which means that this is basically where everyone starts. I believe everyone who's played iRacing has gone through the Mazda rookie series. Race length is 10 laps. We qualified P5 for this one with a time of 1:21.9, putting us all the top 5 within the 1:21s. We are car number 10, which means that starting P5 is really good for our I rating. This race has to be one of the closest, most intense races I've ever had on iRacing so far. Definitely worth a watch, especially towards the end. There is a huge three-way fight for P1 basically throughout the entire race. So, oh yeah, that's pretty much everything. So let's head out on track. So here we are waiting for the 4 red lights to go out so we can start this race, and away we go, starting all the way in P5. There's 4 cars ahead of us here. The chap behind us, Thomas Parkins, got a pretty good launch, looking up very close in our rear view mirror here. Gonna send it down the first corner. We all brake very hard, almost making it 3 wide here. Thomas dives up the inside. I believe we have lost a position here. Not yet. We are side by side, 2 wide coming in, as you can see on the bottom left there. All cars, all sorts of out of line. A big moment from the guys ahead of us here, going on the onto the gravel and just taking out 2 cars behind. Wow, carnage behind us now. Let's have a look at that one on the replay. So let's have a look exactly at what happened on the replay screen here. So red and purple car go onto the gravel, they lose control, come back, and the purple car just collects these 2 gentlemen here. That is extremely unfortunate for those lads. Race ruined for both of them. Very unlucky. Going into the heavy braking zone here, down to first gear, going extremely wide, lots of understeer, tires are still very cold, no need to push so hard at the moment. We've lost the guys ahead of us by around 1 second now, so there's a 1 second gap to P2 and a 1 second gap to P4. However, we find ourselves on the podium coming to the end of the first lap, which is very good. We made up 2 positions around the first lap, which is very beneficial for us. Just coming on to the final straight, the gap has come down to 0.8 to P3 and has increased to 1.3 seconds to the guys behind us. So we are slowly and surely pulling away here, all thanks to that little mishap that happened, which created a healthy, comfortable gap for us. So fast forwarding to lap 3 now, and we've closed down the gap to just under half a second here, coming into the heavy braking zone again. We're right behind P2 now, pretty much inside his rear bumper here. We're gonna try and stay in his mirror, see if we can pressure him to make any sort of mistake and stay within striking distance for when they inevitably start to tussle. An important point to keep in mind here is that the 2 cars in front of me are the number 1 car and the number 3 car. So these are the top rated people in our split. I am the number 10 car, which means that I don't really belong in the top 3 positions here. So nothing really to lose for me, everything to gain as we get an absolutely insane run out of the last turn down the back straight. We're getting a tow from the number 1 car here. Nowhere really for us to go. We could have bumped him, but that could have gone extremely bad. So we lift off, brake a bit early, see what's going to happen here. Looks like they're about to run into each other here. We'll try and stick to the right behind the number 3 car for the tow. Actually sticking behind number 1 car was not the smartest idea, now that I'm looking back at this race on the commentary. We're going to try stick it up the inside of both of them here. We think a bit better of it, side by side with car number 3 now. As you can see, extremely close. We get out of it in hopes of actually making it to the end of the race in one piece. Should have probably not stuck my nose up the inside of both of them in that corner. Making it 3 wide in that corner would have been an absolute death wish for us. But you know, positions have been shuffled now. The number 1 car is in P1, number 3 car is in P2, and we are right where we were in the start, half a second away from P2. Oh, starting lap number 5 now. We are still well within the tow of the first 2 cars ahead of us here. Getting very close on the first corner, braking way later than they are. Also getting quite a good run out of that corner. As you can see, the gap slowly coming down on the bottom right on the relative there. Extremely good run through this corner here. We have the run on the number 3 car here. We have to lift. Otherwise, we will run into the back of him. So coming into the heavy braking zone now, we are right up against him once again, trying to see if we can force him to make a mistake, be inside of his mirrors, although he is extremely focused on the car in front of him as well. So I don't think it's going to be that easy to make this guy or the guy in front of him make a mistake. I think at this point in the race, I was thinking of maybe keeping a half a second to 3/10 gap to the car in front of me, so instead of fighting for the position myself, I can just sit back at a comfortable enough gap to see if a mistake is going to be made by any of these chaps, to see if we can capitalize off of that. The tow down the back straight here is extremely powerful, especially when you're behind 2 cars. As you can see, we're just gaining like crazy on these 2 cars ahead as they go side by side here, coming into the first corner. Super hard on the brakes, still side by side, both of them. Extremely clean racing here for rookie Mazdas. I have to admit, they don't have the best safety rating here, 1.4 and 1.9 safety rating on A and C licenses respectively, but super clean racing. We are currently the fastest car on track, as you can see on the top left there with the purple time on the standings dashboard there, a 21.3, a whole 10th faster than P2 and a whole 3/10 faster than P1, which means we are gaining on them. They are holding us just a bit back, but we don't want to take any unnecessary risk here. We're only halfway through the race, just over that in lap 6 right now. As you can see there, P1 covering of the inside, diving back to take the racing line. P2 is right on him. He's about to get a really good tow. He got a really good exit. We're just in the tow of both of them here, keeping a healthy gap to see if they're going to fight, if any moves are going to be made. Let's see if P2 is going to go for the dive on the inside. He looks to the right. He's going to go for the dive. Out breaks P1. And what a move there. What a move from P2 to move up into P1. Very clean. P1 giving the space, while P2 sending an absolute shocker of a dive bomb into the first corner. Absolutely great racing. P2, number 1 car here, looking up the inside, just putting his nose and thinks a bit better of it. We get an amazing run on both of them here, going around the outside. He pushes us wide, not much space. We have to put 2 wheels on the grass. We let go, give him the inside space. We don't want to crash anyone out here into the heavy braking zone once again. We are really faster here compared to them. We're super late on the brakes. We can get right up behind P2 here. Coming up to this flowy section of the track now, where you're pretty much flat out from here all the way until the last corner. We lose a little bit of time to them here, but we might have a good tow if we take this corner properly. We're keeping still half a second gap behind P2. P1 there trying to break the tow. P2 looks like he's going to the inside. Oh, he thinks better of it. Just gets a little bit on the grass there. I think the P2 car has a run on P1 here as they go down side by side. The back straight will stick in the toe of the left-hand side car, so we can have a better racing line out of the first corner as we dive up the inside, trying to make a move stick on P3 here. So close, almost 3 wide into the first corner as we're side by side now with P2. He is giving us the space, being very respectful. We let go of it just a little bit so we can get back in line, as we are starting to lose a bit of time to the cars behind us. They are now less than 1 second away. P2 gets it all wrong over that curb there. He cuts off the outside. We'd look to the inside, let go of it again, thinking better of it every single time. Into the heavy braking zone now. We can send it, but we don't really want to make a mess of this here. Rather have a podium than a DNF, so getting a little bit of oversteer there. Just gonna follow them through the flowy section of track yet again. P4 behind us is now within 8/10, which means the gap has closed down. See if we can try and open it up again. We are about to start lap 9 here, so elbows are definitely going to start coming out now. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of ambitious moves and a lot of aggressive defending. Everyone's trying to tussle for position, make up position, and defend their position. So we can see P2 getting a really good run of the last corner there, using the toe and side draft of the P1 car. They are side by side going into the first corner now. Let's see what's going to happen on the brakes, both of them getting all sorts of loose there. P2 side by side through the first corner again. A little bit of contact, but that is the number 3 car back up into P1. Already changing positions pretty much every single lap for the lead here. We're so tightly bunched up, all within 1/10 of each other. Absolutely great racing, as you can see here, staying still in this tight train. We have the run on both of them here. No space for us to go. Looking left, looking right, we'll let go of it, get back in line into the heavy braking zone. Once again, taking the wide line here, trying to optimize the exit so that we can make up as much ground as possible, coming up into the flowy section of track. Getting a bit loose here, that's going to cost us a bit of time as they get away from us. The gap up again to half a second. We are on the penultimate lap now. We're going to start we're running to the last lap right now. This is lap 9 out of 10. As you can see, P1 trying to break the toe yet again here. We'll follow them through, try and get a really clean run out of the last corner, and we managed to do that. We have a really good run, plus the toe of both cars ahead of us. P2 will probably have enough toe to send it up the inside of P1. Let's see, we're coming up really fast. We're gaining. Guy going up the inside now, super late on the brakes. P2 goes for a dive, hits P1 in the rear quarter panel. P1 loses it. We go up the inside of P2, side by side with P1 now. We do have the run on him here. Let's see if he'll give us the space now. As you can see on the bottom left, going side by side. He has the inside line. We have to give it to him. Still side by side coming up that corner. Now P1, well, the car behind us, which is P3. We're bumping door by door here. He has the run behind us. We go side by side. We give him the outside line. P3 looking all sorts of ways behind us, getting it just a bit loose. P3 looking up the inside there. Mr. Tony will close off the door. He is right behind us. We managed to go from P3 to P2 in the last lap. What an absolute crazy race this has been, just non-stop battling for the race. It is not over yet. There's still P3 behind us. He could potentially get a good run out of the last corner here, as we have the tow from the car in front of us. Let's see if we can do the same to P1 here. We're going to brake a bit early, look for the right exit, going just a little bit wide, using all of the track. We have a run on him here. We're using the tow. Are we going to be able to get him to the finish line? Not quite. How unfortunate. If the finish line was a few hundred meters just down the road, we would have gotten P1 there. But that's us in P2, starting P5, ending P2. What an absolute belter of a race. Absolutely amazing racing there. Super clean from the chaps there. What a good bit of fun. So here are the results for the end of the race. We gained 78 iRating, pushing us up to 1859 iRating, and we lost a negligible 0.02 safety rating. The biggest winner of the entire race was P1, gaining 87 iRating, pushing him just over 2000, and the biggest loser was P12, losing a total of 85 iRating. All in all, this has to be one of the best races I think I've ever had on iRacing. I hope you guys really enjoyed watching. If you did, make sure to leave a like and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy what you see. That's pretty much it from me. I'll see you in the next video.